Football is back!
Yay, yay!
About that time. Let's get started.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Command This. We'll wait a few minutes for the live stream folks to jump in. But hey, tonight is our preview of the Jacksonville Jaguars game. We got a great guest lined up for you. And we're also hey, football's back. Ain't no better feeling in the world. We've been waiting so long for this.
Football's back.
Football's back.
Football's back.
So it's me. It's your boy Steve. Hollering on the ones and twos, starting us off. And Phil gave you with the intro. And of course, as always, we got Deb, who's trying to be polite and not eat on video. And hey, without further ado, we just want to welcome our guests who have gracefully joined us from the Sunshine State of Florida to help us bring in the Jacksonville Jaguars game. So let's go ahead and welcome our boys, Dunn and Drew. Fellas, what's cracking? How y'all doing? Thanks for joining us.
First of all, Sunshine State, I don't know how I'd ever got that nickname. It rains 24/7 here.
Oh,
Raining right now, actually. Sunshine State, that's more like Arizona. We're definitely the cloudy thunderstorm state.
You know, it's funny. We were talking before the show started how I went to college down there, and I remember my freshman year. It rained every day around like 10:45 to 11:15 every day, no matter what.
Where did you go to school at down there, Steve? I actually never.
Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University down in Daytona, where these two gentlemen are from.
My sister's actually in Jacksonville.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
stationed.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we have some bases here.
Yeah, one of my best friends lives in Jacksonville, but he's a diehard Commanders fan, so he's not getting converted anytime soon.
There's some crossover here.
That's right. For us, this is episode 143. We're calling this one "Duval Comes to Prince George's County." So for those you don't know, fellas, our team clearly is Washington D.C. Washington Commanders. Our stadium is located in Ashburn, Virginia, and then the headquarters is Ashburn, Virginia, and the stadium is located in Prince George's County. So it's kind of a hodgepodge of where you want to go, but that's the DMV, the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area. Just for your guys' edification. So,
yeah. How do you guys chant that county name at your stadium?
We don't. We
don't.
We don't have the pleasure of you guys. How does the chant go? How does I see it's D like you.
So you, I think when you said it just now, I think your emphasis was on the A when it should be on the U. Okay. It's Duval. There you go. A lot of people say Duval, which is fair if you're just reading it. But yeah, the long, you drawn out U. A shorter A, Duval.
Okay.
At first, it was a fan creation, and then the team took it over. And when teams take over things that start, grassroots movements that start from fans, it can get very cringe and corny. And I would say, yeah, they're probably overusing it, but it has not died. I think it's still cool to say it. Definitely is in the stadium, especially. So. They have not killed it yet. It's still cool to say. Got a lot of Duval merch here.
Well, still have not said it.
Yeah, I don't do the chant.
No?
I'm not a chant guy.
Yeah.
I'm more low key.
Well, I mean, it's cool because if the fans created it, it kind of has like a little bit like we kind of own this sort of thing. So that's kind of cool. We got some couple of guests in the chat. We have Green 49285 watching with the homies. I don't know if that's one of yours. Says you, Eric, if you're trying to get with the Gabby, Hannah knows the time. Now's the time.
No, the time was 7 years ago, my guy. 7 years ago.
Ryan Ellis, what's up, man? Special guest Logic. Hey, so for those who just tuned in, we got our friends from
says you like Logic, bro.
Oh, Logic. Oh, yeah. Drew, he's trying. Okay,
I've gotten that.
I get it now. I was a little bit slow on that one. So, fellas, football's back. We got the opening day tonight, opening night. I don't know what are they calling? I don't know if they're still calling it some weird. Or is it Thursday night football? It's Thursday night football, but
Thursday night football, but still Sunday night crew.
There you go. We got the Rams and the Bills tonight. Real quick, just jump off. Who y'all got tonight?
We got Rams.
Who you got, Eric?
We got Rams. Remember, Bills?
Yeah,
are
we got
starting-
Rams. I thought you said Bills.
I think I might go Rams just because they seems like the Bills always let you down. They're like the Dallas Cowboys of the AFC. They always let you down, man. Like when you need them the most.
Well, we think the Bills lose tonight's game, but then they win out.
Yeah, I think they win the Super Bowl though. I got to win the Super Bowl. Don't get it twisted.
That's a fair statement. That's a fair statement. All right, well, fellas, as we like to do with all the people that we get to grace us with their presence on our show, just want to know how your fan story, your origin story. How did you guys become fans of the Jacksonville Jaguars? And hey, Eric, we'll start with you real quick.
Yeah, so my dad took me to my first Jags game. Little did I know it would become this, a hellhole. But he took me to my first game when I was 8 years old. It was Dolphins, Jaguars. We lost. That was my first taste of what I would experience for the rest of my life. That was back in 2003. I was 8 years old. You can do the math. But ever since that game, it was my first NFL game ever. And I just stuck with the team the rest of the way. Not a cool story, but that's how I became a Jag fan. Went for one game and just stayed with it.
Got hooked. That's loyalty right there. Hey, Drew, how about you? How'd you get your fandom?
I didn't start watching football until like 2008. I remember I used to play pool, and I remember being at a pool hall as a teenager, and on the TV was Super Bowl. It was Bears, Colts, and I was watching with my family that liked football, and I was like, why don't I watch more of this? Because even though it was, if I remember, it was a pretty crappy game. Rainy.
Rex Grossman? Was that Rex Grossman?
Yeah, and Peyton, Devin Hester.
that was Sexy Rexy's best moment in history.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, now I need to pick a team. My dad's been a sports reporter my whole life. Which means he covered the Jags inaugural season. So he had a souvenir football from that. I should have a prop here, but I don't. He has a souvenir football from that game. So I was like, this is the only pro football memorabilia in my house. And they're the closest team to me. So let me choose the Jags. And I would say I chose wrong, but really they're just probably the worst of the three evils, aside from late with Tom Brady on the Bucs. But hopefully with Trevor, please, God, with Trevor, our fortune is turning around here soon. Hopefully starting week 1.
That's cool. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. That's a good story. I mean, they had some. I semi watched the Jags from afar as they came up. You know, you guys had Mark Brunell, quarterback. We eventually played for Washington, and Fred Taylor. I mean, good players over the years.
Hall of Famer now, Tony Baselli.
That's right.
Yeah.
First Hall
Tony.
of Famer.
Big Tony. He was the first one, huh?
Yeah, he was.
So we're hoping our curse, whatever curse we have, is now broken.
That's cool.
Because now we're an official football team.
There you go. Hey, Green says, hey, better to be a Jags fan than a Lions fan.
Yes.
So you got that going for you.
Oh, yes. I definitely agree there.
Right.
Oh, man. So, fellas, as we get into this game, kicks off at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Just tell us a little bit more about the 2022 Jaguars. Like, who are they? What do you think their identity is? What are some of the changes that happened in the offseason? And Drew, we'll start with you.
Oof. The defense is back. Jacksonville might be. I don't think it's going to be a shell of itself any longer. I think with Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker, Arden Key, which might be one of our best, probably top 2 free agent signings. Not many people. I didn't know about him until we signed him. But he's been so good this preseason, as is Trayvon. Trayvon weirdly just looks like a man amongst boys out there. It's very exciting because I was nervous with us taking him because how often do you gamble on a prospect that didn't have the stats in college but looks the part? And he still looks the part, thankfully, and used in maybe the role that gets sacks. Maybe he'll start producing those numbers. So I'm really excited about the defense. Devin Lloyd, we snuck up in the first round and picked. He looks very exciting. And then our secondary.
What's it feel like to draft a linebacker? So I like to know.
What's that like?
Man, wow.
That's pretty funny because we did another podcast with another Commanders, some other Commanders fans, and they were very low on your linebacker core. So.
Yeah, I got to watch you guys on Rep the District last night.
Okay, yeah, that was
good
them.
friends of ours. So
Okay, cool.
Good to see you guys interact with them too. That was
Cool.
awesome.
Yeah, in terms of so definitely attacking defense, and I expect a lot more sacks this year. I don't know if they're going to call us Jacksonville again yet. Offense, I see a lot of RPOs, quick passes. Zay Jones has been seems like Trevor's best connection so far, which is funny. He was like a third string in Oakland. And I don't know if Christian Kirk will live up to the hype / salary. And I do love our backfield. I think Travis Etienne and James Robinson are going to be a great 1-2 punch. So, and I obviously hope Trevor progresses to what he could be. I don't think he's going to be him yet. I don't know if he'll have it. Maybe he'll show flashes of it, but I hope that he looks like the other second-year quarterbacks that we've seen recently look entering their second year. I'm just glad we have seems like we have a real football team this year, and I'm excited to see what Trevor looks like in a real organization.
By the way, I've been meaning to thank you guys for spending so much money on Christian Kirk that drove up the asking price of every wide receiver for the rest of the offseason. So we had to pay extra money just to re-sign Terry McLaurin. Thank you all for that. Really appreciate it.
Man, talk about setting the market.
I tell you what, I do got a question though that y'all brought that up. Should I start Christian Kirk or Chark if I have Chark this week?
Oof.
Well, I would go Chark simply because, which is fun. I was saying this on the other podcast. We watched Hard Knocks. They didn't show anything of Chark. I don't know why.
I didn't even know him or Williams, both receivers. Yeah. I didn't even know. Like I was playing Madden. I was like, they got Chark. Like I didn't even know.
I don't know, man. But I like Chark. I like Goff as a quarterback, but there's a lot of question marks right now with the Jags offense. So I'm not too bullish on them yet. You know, I've got Zay Jones on my team, but I'm not starting him. I thought about it, but I was like, I just don't know yet. I haven't seen these guys except for a few plays in the preseason.
So you saying play Christian Kirk because y'all gonna throw to him?
No, DJ Chark.
All right, so Dunn, give us your logic of the 22 Jaguars in your own words.
Yeah, so I think the 2022 Jaguars, however you want to say it, I think it's just a bunch of guys with talent, potential that we just haven't seen yet with Doug Peterson as a new coach. It's going to be so different from last year because Urban Meyer and all the news that came out afterwards after he was let go, you know, he wasn't really understanding how to coach these guys. He was treating these guys like they were college players. So the locker room wasn't really a locker room last year. So all these players that are on our team that were coached under Urban Meyer last year, were they even really coached? Do we know if they even got better in their skill set as football players last year? I don't think they did. So now with Doug Peterson here and all these new acquisitions we got, with Evan Ingram, Brandon Scherf that we took from you guys, we got Christian Kirk, we got Zay Jones, we got ETN back healthy, we got James Robinson that's supposed to be suiting up week 1. We have Trayvon Walker, Devin Lloyd, Chad Muma, new center, all these new guys on our team that we really don't know how they're going to work together yet because all we have are the few drives that we saw in the preseason. However, those drives in the preseason, when the starters were in, they looked good. They looked like a team that could compete with other teams in the NFL, unlike we're used to seeing the past 5-6 years. So just based off that, I'm excited for the season because I've been going to these games, you know, since 2019. I started going to more games again after our playoff year. Of course, COVID, we weren't allowed to, but after 2020, I started going to games again, and I was like, man, this team, when are we going to get good again? And it feels refreshing this year. It felt refreshing when Urban got hired. We were really high on Urban Meyer, but as the season went on and we just kept losing, and when I was like, okay, this is the worst season ever. But Doug Peterson, the energy's changing. The press conferences, they're smiling. The energy's back in the building in Jacksonville. So I'm excited.
You know, y'all's coach, he does. I'll tell you now, he loves to run the ball, man, and he loves to throw like screens to the receivers. He does a lot of that when he coached the Eagles, anyways.
We haven't been able to execute a wide receiver screenplay properly for the past decade.
That's going to be like a staple of your offense, just to give you a heads up.
All right.
You're gonna be running a very horizontal offense.
Right. Very. It feels like a college offense almost. It's almost like a pistol read option pass every play is in.
That was Trevor's. That was Trevor's college game. Yeah. So I think maybe he'll feel at home.
That's what Doug Peterson did in Philly, man. And they always ran. They ran a lot. Basically, run to stuff to pass. So
yeah. With Trevor Etienne back and Trevor Lawrence having that connection with him from Clemson, I'm excited to see how that works out in the pros. See if they can establish something again.
So Green once again said it's been a great offseason for B-level wide receiver starters. I'm trying to figure out is Green a Jags fan or not. I'm trying to figure that out. I don't know.
Might be a Lions fan.
I sound like he called McLaurin a B-level wide receiver starter. Might be right though, so I don't want to.
Yeah, he might be a Commanders fan with that kind of a take.
He could be.
I did hear you say y'all got Chad Mumba also. Another linebacker. How's it?
Yeah.
Man.
Chad Mumba. Yep.
Drafted 2 in the first 3 rounds.
We can't get any linebackers.
3 or 4.
It's like me trying to have a boy or a girl.
Well, we had a ton of picks in the draft, so I'm glad we went heavy on the D. And then on offense, we attacked the offense in free agency.
Yeah,
so we went heavy defense in the draft.
We ignored defense altogether.
Yeah,
good.
You said, "Wow,
that's good."
Hey, Marcus, welcome to the show, man. If you guys haven't done so, go check out his Facebook group, Sports View 2. And if you already done so, please go ahead and subscribe our channel while you're at it. If you're here, go give old Dunn and Drew a sub on YouTube as well, man. We got to show love to our guests. Green also said not having Urban is a huge plus. And he had fingers and more blondes than the Jags playbook. I mean, did he get run out of town? Is he still he had a great reputation coming from, the Gators. And so what is the vibe with Urban down there right now?
We forgot it.
Yeah. I was like Jay Cruz is a homeboy.
Doug's kind of washed away all the sins of last year. So Urban's definitely in the rear view mirror. I think it's kind of like a thing you chuckle at now.
Yeah, that's fair.
We have Spurrier, we know.
Yeah, Urban Meyer's at the Fox booth now for college football as well. So he's moved on. We're all moved on and living better lives now.
It was a messy breakup, but we're done.
See, we all got rid of Urban after 1 year. We kept Jay, the front desk women at Redskins Park Gruden around for 5 years, thinking that was going to turn around. So kudos to your organization. You cut off the cancer after 1 season.
Hey, Shad did not want to. I know that every time something came public, I know he was cringing in sadness because he wanted, if those things didn't become public, we still have Urban as a head coach.
Do you guys like Shaw? Is he a revered owner?
No, he's not. No, he's not.
See, I like Shaw, but for different reasons.
He's done a lot for the community, but I mean, you just look at the last 10 years and 11 years, and it's like, all right, you got to get. Yeah, he got lucky once, but he's not held in high regard here until his teams start winning. But he does do a lot he has a vision for the city and for the team, but the on-field products has to catch up to the off-field moves that he does.
Yeah. Well, in 20 years, his son's going to end up buying the team anyway
for $1.
Tony Khan. I think Tony Khan is so far deep into AEW.
But I mean, Tony Khan's worth $7 billion himself, so he probably.
I hope that Tony takes it over when Shaw's gone, and I'm sure that's what's going to happen.
Because I remember back during the 2017, 2018 years, Tony Khan used to be very active on social media about the Jags, players and our moves. Now it's non-existent about us. So hopefully that comes back. But
he's running he's running 2 different wrestling organizations
maybe I could put CM Punk at linebacker.
He's injured.
He'd be an upgrade on this team.
Y'all need him.
Hey, Green says, I'm a Lions fan, so I enjoy punishment. That's why I feel so bad for the boys sometimes. My team is proof it could always be worse. Hey, Green, tune in next week because we got the Lions coming up next weekend. So these first 2 weeks could go very well or terribly for us. I think we need to go at least 1-1 in the first 2 weeks until the season's over.
Here's the thing. I'm going to say this. All right. I have no ill will towards the Jaguars. I generally like the Jaguars. As far as there's never been a team that I've watched play. I don't have that same hatred for them that I do, obviously, the Cowboys or the Eagles or the Patriots for a long time.
Probably because we're irrelevant.
Or the Saints.
That's it.
No, because there's some teams that suck that I have that same just absolute towards. I've never, for some reason, it's just the Browns irritate me. No way. But being that this is a team that's been trying to, that every move they make that is a positive, the national media wants to make it a negative. It's like I want them to come out and just execute unbridled violence. And I almost feel bad. It's like, it's against the Jaguars. I wanted to be against the team I hate. And now I got to root for us to go out there and just pull every, I want just a mean, nasty, violent streak to begin week 1. I'm like,
Phil wants to break out like Wishbone.
Jaguars.
Who's that coming from? Like when you say mean, violent, like you want your team to just like go out there and boat race us. What players do you have in mind when you say that about your squad for week 1?
Carson Wentz for one.
And so you're confident enough?
Says, Carson Wentz stinks. The Commanders suck at the quarterback position. Did you see who we started most of last season?
I'll tell you why people root for Wentz against you guys. It's because they hate Irsay so much for thinking it's Wentz's fault that he got beat.
Yeah.
And really, it's not. Wentz didn't allow 500 yards put on him. You know what I'm saying? Like Wentz didn't play defense.
Yeah.
Wentz didn't play defense though. I mean,
dead hookers and blowing and walk away almost a free man. Like, I don't know about Irsay, man, but
people think Irsay's the good guy in that whole situation.
I mean, no,
every reporter in this town goes to Carson Wentz, says Philly didn't want you, Indy didn't want you. What makes you think you're any good of a quarterback?
That wasn't even what happened in Philly, though.
I know, but that's how it's portrayed. And it's like, I just want Carson Wentz to go up there and throw up 600 yards and 7 touchdowns. What really is Carson Wentz is crap. Let's be honest. But we're going to root for him. We're rooting for him because everyone thinks he's crap. If everyone thought he was great, we would say it's crap. Everybody acts like 27 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, and the third highest QBR in the league is, this guy's a bottom tier quarterback.
I don't think he's a bottom tier quarterback, but he's crap.
So John, you can speak to this. Is your guys' view of Carson Wentz solely surrounding the last game of last season? Or is there more to it? Because you guys might have seen him twice last year.
You can say
my opinion is of our game coming up. My opinion on Wentz is that last game and Doug Peterson being our quarterback or our coach now. I'm just using those two things.
Right. And in your opinion, translation, he's crap. That's basically what he's saying.
Yeah, would you guys rather have Heineke, who got you to the playoffs, or Sam Howell, who you drafted, or would you rather Wentz out there?
Heineke never got us to the playoffs. Heineke started a playoff game because the quarterback was hurt.
He didn't play until the playoff.
Yeah, he didn't play. He played 2 drives of one game, and then started the playoff game.
Yeah,
that's it. That's where that whole legend of Taylor Heineke comes from. Steve's got the T-shirt.
Yeah.
Sure but did. When Heineke, when teams finally had some tape on Heineke, it's like if he's not out there running around like a chicken with his head cut off and throwing up prayers, he's below average. He's a backup quarterback.
Also, last year, Carson Wentz may have lost to us that last game of the year last year, but when I went to Indy to watch us play the Colts in Indianapolis, he also didn't play well that game, and we won that game. But Trevor Lawrence had a game-winning drive opportunity, but we didn't score. We got down the field where we didn't score. So
Jacksonville's beating Indiana.
We could have swept the Colts last year
Jacksonville's beat Indiana at home like 4 or 5 straight years. Wentz only been there one of them.
I think we're at 7 now.
Yeah, it's no lie though. That's true. And Wentz only been there one of them. You know what I'm saying?
The best running back in the league on his team last year. Now he gets Antonio Gibson fighting for his number 1 running back role.
Yeah.
And he's got better receivers. And I think you guys' receivers are much better than the Colts last year. If you look at the Colts roster now, it's trash. Like I couldn't name you 2 of those players on the team. But Wentz has Terry McLaurin, he's got Curtis Samuel, he's got Jahan Dotson, who's I think he's going to be a stud. And if Logan Thomas can stay healthy, he's a great tight end for y'all. But is Carson Wentz with our new defense that we're very high on our defense? I just don't think Carson Wentz is going to be able to keep up with us if our offense is playing correctly.
And
this is a game to get correct against because our linebackers.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's our offense is probably our strong suit, not our defense.
Evan Ingram and Dan Arnold.
Oh, never mind.
Evan Ingram
the only tight end in the league who doesn't show up against us. So
that dude has like penises for fingers.
Yes. We watched him twice a year with New York Giants. He dropped every ball. Dude has so much talent, so athletic.
We used to predict every time we played the Giants. We used to predict put Evan Ingram on your fantasy team. He's going to go 10 catches for 120 and 2 touchdowns because every other tight end seemed to do that. And then Ingram would go out there and have like 3 catches for 20 yards. Like, what is this guy?
Yeah. Marcus said the national media is already saying it's a 2-team race, Eagles and Cowboys. I agree.
Every time they pick the Cowboys, they don't do anything.
That good. They've regressed hard.
They got that hype. Oh, man.
Cowboys supposed to be good, win it every year, man. They never do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Green said, leave Carson alone.
That's just like everybody picks the Chargers every year, man. They ain't been in the playoffs ever. Like Herbert's never made the playoffs.
It's only his second year, man.
I mean, I get it. But all of a sudden, man, with the Broncos being better and the Raiders being better, all of a sudden they're going to be better. That dude has like 2 All-Pro receivers, All-Pro running back, a Pro Bowl tight end, 2 Hall of Fame defensive ends, All-Pro corner, and an All-Pro safety, and can't make the playoffs. I don't know what to say to you, bro. And then you got Lamar Jackson over there with nobody. Playoffs.
How do you guys feel? Are you confident in Carson, who has a history of so many injuries, can stay healthy on a field that has a history of so many injuries?
Yes, because they completely redid the turf.
Oh, so you're shooting down a very common stereotype about your field.
No, it's true. The visitor tunnels, the team tied. There's like 5 to 7 ACLs get torn within that 10-yard span right there. Legs get broken. Yeah,
they actually completely tore up all the turf. And laid down brand new turf, brand new drainage system underneath during the off season.
That makes me feel a lot better. I was a little worried about our players.
Trust me, look, we felt bad, and it wasn't even our players that tended to get hurt.
Yeah.
It tended to be everybody else's guy. I think Adrian Peterson suffered 2 season-ending injuries on our field.
Oh my God!
On the Vikings.
Hey, Green, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I see what you're getting at, and it's true, man. Like Heineke won 7 games with almost all the offense hurt and out. And they had one of the hardest 1 or 2 schedules in the league last year. I gotta give it to him. You know, Heineke played with Sheriff out, the starting center out, Cosme out, all of your receivers except for McLaurin out, Thomas out, all your defensive players out. Still won 7 games. I'm not gonna crap on Heineke for just being good enough to be a backup. I think Wentz. I think that's why everybody's optimistic about our offense, because Wentz is better than Heineke. I'm not saying he's great. Wentz is better than Heineke. I think that when Heineke's there and everyone's healthy, and they won 7 games against the hardest schedule with Heineke and a bunch of nobodies, what are they going to do when a bunch of good guys are playing and they got an easy schedule? Right. And that's what I think I think that's why we're optimistic about it. But our defense is terrible, man. I think they're going to be terrible. I think Jacksonville, I'm going to go ahead and say it before you get to it. I think Jacksonville's going to win, man. It's going to make me mad.
Might as well skip to the end. Let's just end it.
I think Jacksonville's going to win, man. Like,
I'll save mine for the end too. But
they shouldn't win, but I think they're going to win, man. Because Doug Peterson's that funky ass offense, and we got linebackers that can't do any. We have no Mike whatsoever.
Eric, you alluded to it earlier. You know, you're confident in Doug Peterson being there with Trevor Lawrence. But hey, Drew, I'll ask you. You know, what kind of effect do you think that Doug Peterson will have on Trevor Lawrence? He is familiar with Carson Wentz. I'm not gonna say he ran him out of town, but he is familiar with him, with his tendencies, and he's been known to be a very quarterback friendly coach. So how do you think
Peterson out of town?
His effect's going to be on Trevor Lawrence? And for the record, I watched a lot of Trevor Lawrence in the preseason, and the dude looked sharp. He looked pretty surgical the 2 times that I watched him. The stats might not say it, but he was making some phenomenal passes. So yeah, I'll turn it over to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess if Trevor Lawrence is going to become who we want him to, I think this is the best case scenario. You have a Super Bowl winning head coach who also, and they say he won a Super Bowl as a player, but I assume he's a backup. Quarterback his whole life. They have Mike McCoy, who was an offensive coordinator. I think also the head coach for the Chargers. He's a quarterback guy. The offensive coordinator. Oh my God, what's his name? Anyway, everyone that's in Trevor's ear, even from Doug Peterson and everyone else surrounding him, quarterback coach, offensive coordinator, all quarterback people, very quarterback friendly. So if Trevor's going to become who we want him to be, who we think he can be, I think this is the best case scenario, and there will be no excuses as long as we get him a number 1 eventually, hopefully by next year.
Yeah. Welcome. Our buddy Shotguns. He's a Packers fan stuck in Chicago. Always tunes into the show. Appreciate you joining. He says he'll have a huge effect on Lawrence. And hey, look who joined us. Ref the District says, I recognize these Duval boys. There you go. Running it back tonight. Nathan Trev Stoner, if you guys haven't done so, go sub up to Ref the District down below. Eric, I'll turn it over to you, man. What do you think Doug's going to do with Trevor this year?
I think Doug's going to be a huge impact on Trevor. One thing we don't know what kind of talks those guys have, you know, quarterback and coach, you know, they're supposed to be best friends, and Shad Khan didn't bring Doug Peterson in here to just have another mess up like Urban. All the things Andy said is correct. Everybody knows who Doug Peterson is. He had success with the Eagles, won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles as your quarterback. You beat Brady. And I think Press Taylor is the
Thank you.
But I think just the conversations that those 2 grown men are going to have are going to change Trevor's entire drive this season. I think even last year, I think he was ready to go, but everything that just happened, it made it just bad on him. But Trevor's the kind of guy that can hide whatever, you know, animosity he has that he wants to say, and he just, you know, keeps going, keeps his head down, keeps working. So I'm sure he's had conversations with Doug Peterson about all that happened last year, and Doug's just reassuring him, and front office is reassuring him by making all these offseason moves that, hey, we're finally going to get this right in Jacksonville, and we're going to try to go forward and be better finally, because your window is going to be short in the NFL if you can't get it right. So we need to see some sort of improvement with Trevor this year, and I think we will with Doug Peterson and his coaching staff taking over the reins with all that happened last year. And all these people that we brought in, everyone's got the same goal, the same mindset. Everyone on that team wants to win and want to change the culture that the Jaguars are known for. And if they can't do it this year, then when the hell are they going to do it? Like, this is the best year to do it. Doug Peterson comes in, Trevor Lawrence second year, win. We're going to wait till next year? You got to do it now.
But doesn't it take, sometimes it takes I don't know, this is first year, right? Yeah, it's first year. Sometimes it might take 2 years to get rid of the previous regime's trash to bring in your own philosophy, mindset. Coaches.
Doug has said before that it took 2 years in Philly. Yeah. So I'm letting these guys know this isn't an overnight thing.
Yeah, that's true. That makes sense. Okay. We're dealing with that now as well with Ron Rivera. And, this is our third year. First 2 years was all about culture. Of course, we were dealing with all the bullshit about sexual harassment, name change, all that stuff. But this year is about football. No one cares about any of that crap anymore. Just put it on the field. I'll turn it over to Phil.
So give me, especially because Steve and I are going to be at the game. Give me one player on offense, one player on defense that we absolutely should be watching out for on Sunday's game. Who should be checking for to make plays, to make the plays and be the real difference maker? Who should we be looking for? One on offense, one on defense.
Go ahead, Drew.
I'll say ETN on offense.
Oof.
If Evan Ingram isn't able to catch those balls that you think he'll drop. And I'd say Arden Key, like I mentioned before, Arden Key on defense. I think he's gonna in some third down situations. I think he'll have a sack this game.
It's funny because I'm just looking at this is just ESPN. On the ESPN desk chart, they have him listed as the third right defensive end. I'm assuming that's incorrect, right?
I'm not sure. I just know that he comes in on obvious passing situations. So if it's 2nd and 10 or second and maybe 11, 12, he'll be in there in some role.
He's got one job to do.
Yeah, or if it's third down, he'll be in there for sure. And he's just been lighting up preseason.
If he was in Washington, we would drop him into coverage. So that's what we do with our pass rushers. So real quick, Eric, Green has a question for you based on your last comment. What is do it for you? A playoff berth?
No, I'm more into the small things. So I want to see consistent first downs. I want to see converting on third down. I want to see field goals made. These are all things that we've struggled with over the past few years. And those little things make a big difference to win a football game. If you can't convert first downs, like the game we went to against Deshaun Watson when he came back, if you saw the Jumbotron and it said the first quarter stats, I'm used to seeing the Jaguars with single-digit yards, but we had significantly more yards, first downs than the Browns in that game. And I was like, wow, I'm not used to this. So things like that, if I'm sitting in the game, I want us to convert 3rd and 10, which we were doing in preseason. I want us to make field goals. These are all things that lead to success in the NFL. So just seeing that change this season, I'm going to be happy. I don't need playoffs. I'm not expecting playoffs. Who's going for 3 wins to a playoff berth? If that shit happens, I'm going to be like, wow, this is a miracle. I'm expecting maybe double the wins, 6 at the most. I just want to see those small football things changed from last season. And that's all I'm asking for, is to look like a competent football team on the field.
That's fair. But back to Phil's original question, in your opinion, who else should we be watching out for on offense and defense?
I was also going to say Travis Etienne. We were very excited for him last year. Oh, Andy wasn't in the draft. We got that on camera. He was like, why we get a running back? But I think he's going to be a great player on offense for us. I'm saying him over the receivers just because I'm not sure how Trevor's going to distribute the ball with the receivers, but I think Etienne, being both a runner and a pass catcher, he's going to be a force on offense. And defense, the obvious answer for me is Trayvon Walker, because he's a man amongst boys, and he is going to light up Wentz if he holds onto that ball.
Trayvon Walker reminds me a lot of Montez Sweat. They look identical. He definitely looks the part if you see him. He looks exactly like, when you close your eyes and think of a football player, that's what one looks like. He's the same kind of guy, like a real strong, lean, muscle-looking dude. And he's real fast. That's what I compared him when he came out to Montez Sweat, man. That's exactly what he kind of reminds me of. Speed rushers. Is he lining up over Cosme or is he right or left?
Which side is he?
He's definitely not I wouldn't say Trayvon's a speed. I don't know if he's gonna win with his speed right now. I think he's gonna win with his arms are just so long. Yeah.
Do they move him around, or does he line up against left tackle or right tackle? Or does he vary?
I don't know.
They left, but they might drop him back into coverage as well. He's been practicing doing that.
Yeah, he's like Montez, man, big, long, athletic dude.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Give you someone on special teams.
Oof.
But I just don't know their name. Our kicker.
Riley
look
Patterson.
out for him.
No. Kicker?
Yeah, I don't know.
Riley Patterson and Logan Cook is your punter, at least according to this
news to me. We've signed and released a few kickers this offseason. None of them can make field goals. So if we miss a field goal or two Sunday, just remember this brief part of our conversation.
Well, there's a free agent out there that is out there. You know, you can pick up. You have to hide your kids, hide your wives, but.
Out there. Oh, the Bills. Yeah. He was actually drafted, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
That's their punter. Their punter.
Talking about Matt Araiza, the punter.
Yeah. That guy.
He got caught up in that.
Man,
that
I seen.
Marcus says the other Josh Allen is the key on defense to his.
No, this isn't the other. This is the Josh Allen.
The Josh Allen.
The Josh Allen.
Yeah. Let's transition to this, fellas. And Eric, we'll start with you. Jaguars win if.
Ooh.
Oh, all the things I just mentioned. Get some first downs, make some kicks. Yeah, make your field goals and get first down. Because that's the only way you go.
Simple stuff. Yeah. Simple stuff. Drew, what about you?
Yeah.
I just think that this is always a sign of or the best sign of whether a team won or not. But I think if they win I think the teams are going to be pretty close. I think if they win the turnover battle, if Trevor doesn't make a mistake, if Trevor doesn't throw a pick, and we can move the ball typically well, maybe get up to 350 total yards. I think Travis Etienne gets over 100 rushing or receiving, combined. I think we'll win. If we get over 300 offensive yards and don't turn the ball over, I think we win.
Okay.
And as Jack fans, we can tell just by the first game.
Oh yeah.
So we
first drive.
We're not that different, bro.
Yeah. So we'll flip to the inverse. Dev, I'll go with you real quick as we get ready to wind this thing down. The Commanders win if.
Basically, don't turn it over. One thing, I guess, I don't know if I missed one of you guys said it, but we have to get off the field on third downs. I know Drew said that they need to convert third downs, but we need to get off the field. We were butthole-assed in third down defense last year, man. And we did not improve linebackers, which was the source of our problem.
Yep.
And we got rid of our safety. So it's just
Lando.
Right. It's just weird, man. I don't know. People think because it's Jacksonville or next week is going to be the Lions, there's a pushover. Jacksonville improved, man. They improved front office and players. We didn't do much, man. We just got healthy. We got healthy, and we added a few things on offense. But other than that,
and you fixed your field.
And we fixed our field, and we rebranded, and we got new seats in the stadium. So,
hey, man, Daniel Snyder said we fixed our field, man. If you want to trust that,
hey, we used to have concerts mid-season just to get extra money. Who does that? It ruins the field. Come on.
Oh, wow.
I mean, we go to London mid-season to get extra money.
That's true. Season ticket has got to be pissed off about that.
Yeah.
Is beer actually $14 in your stadium?
So when Phil and I went a couple weeks ago to the preseason, because we don't have we lost our beer sponsorship. So all they sold, at least in the third floor, was the King cans, which is the 26 ounces. I mean,
those are $14.
Those are $14 for domestic,
$16
for premium. So it's 26 ounces. There's a lot.
But it's 2 beers worth of beer. You carry 2 cans back to your seat. You're good for a while. That's 4 beers
until you get to the second one and it's hot. Yeah, in Jacksonville at least.
True.
Yeah.
Up here,
I guess it gets cold. It gets colder up there.
Oh, not when I'm drinking it. Yeah, this is a body that's been built on drinking beer.
Yeah,
I drink beer.
No one disagreed with him. I was like, yes, we agree.
Phil, I can tell Phil is a huge FedEx Field apologist. I'm getting that.
I'm a huge honesty guy.
Dan Snyder apologist.
We had water and sewage leaking. I think in the first game of the season last year.
It wasn't sewage, according to Dan.
I hate Bruce Allen to no end. Bruce Allen is the biggest cancer of this franchise, but Dan did hire him and leave him there for a decade. So there's that too.
Hide your kids, hide your wives.
That's right. Marcus says, "Don't turn the ball over. Del Rio needs to be aggressive."
I forgot Del Rio was your defensive coordinator.
Jack Del Rio. Yeah,
Wow.
he's
I trade y'all to him for a linebacker.
Revenge game.
Former Jags coach.
That's
By the way,
right.
little tidbit. I've been to a bunch of games at RFK. I've been to games at FedEx. When I see the Jaguars on Sunday, it's going to be the first repeat I will have seen. It's the first time I've seen a team twice.
When did you see
the Commanders or Redskins in my life?
What game was it? Was it?
I was at the Santana Moss 3-touchdown game, the one that ended in overtime back in 2006.
Oh, when Mark Brunell was Brunell the quarterback then?
No,
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that was. Oh,
Del Rio was the head coach.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Lions coordinator.
All right. Well, Phil, let's get ready to close this out. What's real quick? What do we got to do to win this game real quick?
Real quick, Carson needs to have a good Carson day, and the defense needs to mitigate everything that the Doug Peterson playbook. And Doug likes to go horizontal, so you're going to have to play up on the line. Can't have these corners being 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. You're giving them ground doing that. You're basically turning your wide receivers into an extended running game doing that. Can't do that with Doug Peterson. You got to press.
Yeah, we play in 30 inches. You'll see our defensive backs 12 yards off the ball. So just that's what we do. Jack Del Rio. Hey, my key is, they've already said it, butthole ass and third down percentage last year. 60% conversion rate for us on third down, which was the bottom of the league. And just for context, the Bills had the best, and they were like 33%, give or take. So if you look at the disparity, that was our problem. We can fix that. I think we got a running shot. But for the last topic, real quick around the horn, let's go predictions. You don't got to, if you don't want to say the score, you don't got to say the score. You can say win, loss. The spread is 3 for Washington. That's just because of the home field advantage. But let's just go around the clock real quick. Drew, what do you got for Sunday?
I was saying, I can't remember what I said yesterday. I think it's going to be 21-18 Jags.
Fair. Dunn, what you got?
I'm hoping Jags get 3 touchdowns at least. I think they will, especially now you guys are giving me more confidence. Saying your defense. I'm going to say around 25 points for the Jags, and Commanders will be between 17 and 20.
Can I amend? I'd like to say 20-18 Jags. We will miss an extra point in there somewhere.
Where's Josh Scobie at? Is he still there?
That'd be nice.
Our field goal kicker has missed every kick in the preseason, by the way. I think he missed
he made a couple.
Okay. He missed his last 3 or 4 though.
Yeah.
All right, Dev, what you got?
Man, I first said Jacksonville was going to win, but then Eric said they're going to score 3 touchdowns on us, man. Shit, man. You might be right. What's sad about it? I just think we'll score more than 3. That's if you had to say y'all going to score 30, I believe that shit. I'm not going to lie. If you had said we're going to score 30 on Washington, whatever our name is, we're going to score 30 on the whatchamacallits, then definitely I would believe that. But I think we might score 31.
Okay. So 31
man,
what?
It's tough. My mind's telling me Jacksonville.
No.
But my
mind's telling me no.
My body's
telling me yes. You just said Jacksonville's going to win. All right.
Well, you got pipes.
I'm a terrible narrator, whatever.
Spit it.
Unreliable narrator like the Joker.
Come on.
The good guys win 31-28. Watch.
Okay. Yeah, Phil.
27-22 Commanders.
Ooh. I'm going.
Although I want it to be 62-7, just so you know.
Not gonna happen,
I'm going 24-23 Jacksonville. They cover the spread -3. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be literally a back and forth. It's going to come down to a stupid mistake, and I just think Jacksonville comes out on top by a point, and it's going to be a disappointing loss.
I think Jacksonville wins too, and I think it's not because Jacksonville I know. I think Jacksonville beats us, man. I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to say it. Don't tell my friends, man.
I'm not switching my vote.
No, don't switch.
I'm going Jacksonville because I said it at first. I think that, man. I think we play bad. I don't know if it's Jacksonville that beats us, but I think
I'm logging
we play
scores.
I
so
think
you said 31-28.
Jacksonville though. I don't think.
All right.
It's hard, man.
Done. Final answer.
No one's putting up 28 on our defense this year.
What division y'all in? Who's in y'all's division?
Houston.
Colts.
No. Yeah, Colts, Houston,
and the Titans.
You might be
And
right.
Derrick Henry's going to put up 28 himself.
That might be right.
Hey, Marcus, drop that score prediction in the chat, man, so we can log it and see how you did. We still got some stuff to give away. Been trying to give this away for 2 years. Bryce Love signed Pylon.
I thought you were going to give that to me after last.
You know what? I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you this weekend, Phil. I did say I was going to give it to you. So
no one's won it.
Yeah. Stanford's.
I hate to call
former
Steve.
Finest.
Steve was trying to go back on. He's going to be a commander's giver. That's what we're going to call that from now on.
Yeah. Hey, Dunn, when you come up here, would love to get the feedback. What you think about the stadium? I loved your guys' Jacksonville stadium review. That was clutch. I really like that episode. So would love to see, where are you going to be sitting at? What section? First, second, third?
I'm in the dream seats, row 1 behind Jack.
Ooh,
wow.
Somebody got a good job over there, man. Hold on.
Okay, that's what's up.
I ain't buy him.
Somebody cashing their OnlyFans.
They paying money in Duval.
But I heard those seats are real low to the ground, so I probably won't be able to see nothing.
They are. They're low, but you should be fine.
You gonna get to sit by the Instagram girls, man.
Well, we're gonna get off here. We got football coming up tonight. So go tune into the 5 minutes from now. Sorry, I ran a little bit long, but we want to thank Dunn and Drew for hanging out with us tonight. And please go sub to their channel. You saw the predictions down below. It's gonna be a good game on Sunday. Guys, any shout outs, plugs you'd like to do before we close out?
Dunn and Drew, baby.
Yeah,
let's go. Duval, did I say that right?
What channel the game on?
That was good.
NBC.
The game's on right now.
Welcome to DC.
Yeah, welcome to DC.
Bills,
nice meeting you guys.
Yeah, you too. Yeah. Hey, take care. We'll catch you guys on the flip.
Appreciate it.
All right, peace.